Well, a so-called right to be forgotten grabbed the tech world's attention earlier this year as Google had to comply with a European Union law forcing it to remove links to personal information in search queries. Now experts are studying the legislation and asking if the law should be applied globally. CCTV's Jack Parrock reports.
A bad review is not music to a concert pianist's ears. And for Croatian Dejan Lazic, the first thing that comes up on a Google search of his name is a negative 2010 article about one of his performances. He wants that changed through the recent Right to be Forgotten protocol, but the information is not deemed personal enough for that to be granted. The case to set the precedent at the European Court of Justice was about a Spanish man whose house was seized and auctioned off over a decade ago to cover unpaid government debts. The court ruled the information was no longer relevant and detrimental to his reputation. All the debate has led to Google convening an advisory council in 7 European cities, the final one here in Brussels.
The best solution is to have an independent arbitration organization that would decide upon whether or not the right to removal should be followed up in a very specific case. The reason for that, I'm asking for that, I'm calling for that, is that Google would not be the right party. Why are they not the right party? Well, in that case, they would be a judge and a party in the same kind of discussion.
Accessibility to information about activity like years-old child sex offences are causing the most fervent debate. Since the ECJ's ruling, Google's received over 160,000 requests for links to be removed. Around 40% of those requests get approved.
The difficulty Google now faces is striking a balance between protecting people's personal data while still preserving public free access to information.
Google insists it's using this council, along with European data protection agencies, to advise it on how to work with the ruling. But there are some who accuse the internet's giant of having ulterior motives.
If Google is getting stories into the world's press saying Europe's privacy laws are undermining freedom of speech, freedom of communication, press freedoms, content is being removed, then that serves to undermine the whole basis for European privacy legislation. Google makes its money from data collection and selling targeted advertising.
It's important to note that all original articles removed from a Google search of a person's name remain on the internet. Currently, this remains a European legal issue, but it's sparking debate globally, and the ripples will likely be felt back at Google's base in the United States. Jack Parrock, CCTV, Brussels.